Hello, 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 and welcome back to New Woodshire. This is the Save the Farm series, and my name is Bluebelly. What we're going to be doing here today, as you can see, we're finishing the bean field. I went ahead and hired a worker for that. And we are going to hop in one of the other tractors and do a little bit of mowing because we want to use this sweet setup here to get some grass in the silage silo, the big blue one back there. So I know we tend to use this little 766 quite a bit, but we're going to use her again. I like this tractor. Hope you guys do too. And I have not yet showed you the back field in this series. Maybe some of you have visited my Twitch stream where I've used it, but if not, this will be your first time seeing this backfield. I do need to... Okay, it made the turn. So I guess it's that other tractor that has an issue. Although I did a headland, so that might have helped it turn around too. I'm hoping it can navigate this. The worker can navigate this. It does cost a little bit of money doing that, but I want to get some grass mowed here, and then we'll use the rake, the same rake we used a couple episodes ago, and we will get this field raked up into nice rows and get some grass in the silo. One thing that I would love to do is run some loads of silage up to the sell point and make a little bit of cash. That would be helpful. One thing I thought about doing, I don't know what you guys think of this. Feel free to chime in down below, but I thought about installing the Follow Me mod. That's not one that I've done yet, but I thought about installing that so that I could just have like the rake, have another tractor on the rake and have it just follow me directly when I'm mowing. So then I'll end up with nice little swaths that I could just pick right up with the chopper and wagon. So something that I was thinking about doing. So I know this kind of looks silly having this silo right here in the middle of the field, but it was one of the first items I ever placed, and I didn't really know what I'm doing. Not that I know what I'm doing now, but you get the idea. Alright, I hate to keep doing this, but I need to check on the... Okay. Oh, okay, so it made the turnaround down there, and it looks like it's doing okay up here. Fantastic. Alrighty, so... see if I can get rid of that gap. I really like this mower. I think I've given him a shout out just about every game, every time I've played on this series, but this is another mod from Scooter's Workbench. This is a John Deere Batwing mower that I'm pretty sure is all over. I think it's on Mod Hub and among other places, but it's a John Deere Batwing mower, and you only need, I don't know, I think it's like 80 horsepower or something to run it. It might not even be that many. It's not a lot of horsepower, so you can use an old tractor like I'm using and not have any problems with it. I mean, we're mowing at 12 miles an hour, and what is it, 6 feet wide? Or 6 meters wide, whatever. It's definitely bigger than 6 feet. Completed their task. See, that's what we're worried about. You did not complete your task. What'd you do? Okay, you ran up here. Well, that could be worse. It could definitely have been worse. You're not quite done yet, but thank you for your efforts. So I'm doing this for 2 reasons. One, because I know nobody wants to watch me do the same jobs in every episode. And two, because I don't want to do the same jobs in every episode. In the early days of this series, or I mean this farm, before it was even a YouTube series, I did this field back here. I think this will be my 5th time going through this field. I know some hardcore players will say, "Oh, 5 times, that's nothing. You know, that's just another day at the office." But for me, that's starts to get a little bit tedious. So that's why I think I want to go up and down. So maybe when I get to that other end, I'll go up and down coming this way. Gets a little bit tedious. I feel bad not looking at what this mower actually has in stats. So it's 4.6 meters. Not 6 meters, I apologize. But it's 50 horsepower. So I'm bad with numbers. You guys all probably, if you've watched more than one episode, know that already about me. Oh, is that soybeans growing there? It'd be good if it is, because we can look for the contract when it comes up for harvest. The reason I'm all excited that it could potentially be soybeans is that uh, when the contract is for a grain, we can use our combine and then it'll give us the overage. So let's say the contract is like $3,000, right? We do, which that field probably wouldn't be that much. Let's say it's 2,000. We would do the field and get everything done, but then whatever is left, what I call the overage beyond the contract, that's still sitting in your grain cart. So you can either keep it, so if it's a kind of feed that you need for your animals, you can just keep it, put it in your own silo. Or if it's a cash crop, like soybeans would be, we can't feed our soybeans to any of our animals, so we just dump that straight in and we'll get extra cash for it. Which, doing a handful of contracts like that could really help us in our goal of saving the farm. Now, if this is, like I said, if this is your first time on the series and you don't know what I'm talking about with this whole saving the farm concept, basically the idea is that this farm at episode 1 was $275,000 in debt. So we're doing things along the way to pay it off. We're completing jobs like contracts, and we're growing crops that we're selling to make money to pay it off. We also have some cows, and the cows make us money with their milk. And then we've got some pigs, and the pigs make us money with their offspring. We haven't actually sold any of the pigs yet, but that will be coming soon. So we've got a manure spreader, and we've got cows and pigs that make us manure, so they help us out with fertilizer. We just recently, 2 episodes ago, got a sprayer, so we can use that for crop protection. We may also get some solid fertilizer. Oops. Messed that up. I think when I get up here, get turned around, I'm going to tab over and check on our combine. Should be getting close to being done, and we'll run these beans up. I'm more concerned about getting the beans sold today than I am getting this mowing done. The only bad thing about having this 24-hour crop cycle in this game is that when you mow, okay, he's getting there. When you mow, you end up then the next day, like, okay, what is it? It's almost 6 o'clock in the afternoon or evening. If I just leave this here, mowed grass, by tomorrow, the next grass will be poking up through, if I sleep through the night. So what I end up doing is what I'm probably going to do here. I've got the time set on 1x. So I'll get the rake and rake it next. and then I'll start with the chopper, and I'll end up finishing this job on what is effectively the same in-game day. Because once you start cutting, I hate that when the other grass is peeking through. I don't know if doing these little bow tie turns at the end is the most effective way to turn around with this setup or not. I mean, I guess I could try. If I just cut the wheel as tight as it'll go, will it turn around on itself? Not super tight, but probably better than doing the big wide swing. This is one of those things that if you were driving with a tricycle front end in real life, you just press that left or right brake, you know, slip the clutch a little, give it a nice slow turn here, check your, see, it's just a game, and it's almost clipping that corner. So in real life, you'd be so concerned. Right here, this is what I'm talking about. I'll hop off and see if we can look at what I'm talking about. This right here. If that tire clips this section on the mower, then this big mower comes up over and could do a lot of damage to you if you're not careful. Now it's just a game, and I don't, I'm not going to get hurt. It doesn't have that animation in the game, but on a tricycle front end tractor, you can turn so tight. You can lock up one of your back wheels and turn it super tight like that. I bet the M turns even tighter. I'll probably rake with the M, so you get to see it here in a minute. I think I'll do a few rows with the M, and then we'll do a little bit of chopping so you can see that. I was originally going to run the soybeans up today, but maybe I won't. Got too many jobs to do. Too many jobs to do. Well, hey, while I'm finishing this up, I'll give my little commercial here that if you are sticking around the channel and you're enjoying the content, I would absolutely love it if you could do the whole like and subscribe thing. It helps me out a lot. It helps to keep the channel growing and keeps me coming back for more. If there's a particular brand or style that you would like to see me play, like, if you feel like, man, all the other, okay, now they might actually be done, but if you feel like all the other YouTubers do the same thing and none of them do a certain brand of tractor or a certain style of map or whatever, if there's something like that you want to drop as a suggestion, please do so down in the comments below. I read every comment. I respond to all the respectful ones. And I'd be more than happy to consider a playthrough style that you want to see. Yeah, for sure. Let me know. You want to see old Fords? You want to see Alice Chalmers or Minneapolis Moline or nothing but an old McCormick Deering that goes 3 miles an hour with a single furrow plow? You want to watch me plow with that for 4 hours? Whatever. Sorry, I'm getting carried away now. You get the idea, though. whatever you think would make for a cool series, something you'd like to watch. Because here's the thing: if you're sitting at home and you want to watch it, like if you're thinking, boy, I really wish that somebody would do this, I bet that there's another couple hundred, maybe couple thousand, maybe tens of thousands of people that also want to see it. And it's just a matter of giving the people what they like. Part of why I started the channel was because I had never seen any farm sim YouTuber do a small time dairy operation. And I thought, well, I'm interested in that. So I bet other people are too. It's just a basic principle of how the world works. It's a teaching principle is where I got it from, and that idea is, if one person has a question and they raise their hand and ask it, there's probably a bunch of other students in the room who have that same question but are too shy or are too intimidated to ask it. So you always want to assume, for one thing, there's no stupid questions, but also that the ones that get asked are not just an individual thing. They're probably representative of other people. And I think the same thing holds true. This is a terrible park job. This is not where I wanted to put this, but I'm just going to leave it because I don't want to mess with it right now. But the same thing is true, of something that you might request on FarmSim, right? There's somebody somewhere who also wants to watch the same thing, but for whatever reason, they're too shy, too concerned to do it themselves. I really thought I would get more comments on the last episode when I titled it Hall and Oats, right? I mean, come on, guys. Where's the humor? Where's the dad humor crowd? There's got to be some of you out there. Man, well, the pigs must be out of straw because they are not producing manure. Are they out of straw? Like out? Pigs. Straw. They're not out. They should be producing manure. What the heck, pigarinos? Future bacon of America? Come on now. Do your thing. Okay, we're going to start up here. Look how fast this M is. This is another... both of these implements were made by... Oh, give me a break. Were made by Scooter's Workbench. Both the tractor and the... I'm an idiot. This is not what I meant to do. Oh, gosh. Alright. I own it, but fine. I guess I own the field, but I don't own the piece between the field and the other guy's field. So, anyways, what I was trying to say is this M and this New Holland rake were both made by Scooter's Workbench. And they are fantastic. Both work. This is the thing about mods, okay? If you're watching this and you're like, man, I can't wait to get that mod. Great. Go get it. But here's the thing you need to know about mods. If you want good mods, you have to find good modders. You have to be patient. Because if you rush right out and get the first thing that comes up, you know, people all the time on all these groups, they're like, hey, has anybody seen, you know, for example, I want an old school hay rake. Okay, great question. Legitimate question. But then some other guy will come in and be like, just Google it. But if you Google an old school hay rake, you might find a couple. But they're not going to work like this one. If anything, there'll be a stolen, broken version of this one. Instead of paying attention to who the modders are and actually getting a reputable version that you know the modder has gone through painstakingly, found all the errors and fixed them. People just want to take the quick way. I want it now. Sometimes you don't get to have it now. Sometimes you have to wait for a modder to get done with something. Sometimes you have to wait for people to learn a skill to be able to do the mod. And if that's the case, you know, if you need it, if you need that for your farm to work a different farm for a little bit, you know. Dang it. Sorry, my driving is awful there. 1-800, how's my driving? All the people out in the hayfield are gonna call and say, your driving stinks, dude. Probably do maybe like 2 more rows. We'll do a couple of these short rows here where the silo is, because I don't want the episode to go for too long. Maybe I'll just do 1 more row and then we'll get the chopper. Get to the chopper. Sorry, I had to. You know I had to. Do it now. So you get the idea, right? This is going to be grass, not hay. I keep calling it a hay rake, but it's actually grass because I didn't ted it like I did that other field a couple episodes ago. This is just grass like this, and it goes in this silo, and it sits in the silo for as long as the game deems is appropriate. I forget exactly how long that is. And then I'm going to park in the neighbor's yard here. So let's clean this up real quick, and then we'll use this tractor for the chopper. Oops. But it goes and sits in the silo, and it ferments in there, and it turns into silage. If you guys have been around the channel for a little bit, or certainly around this series, you know that this series is like all my favorites. I love this. I love this farm. It's one of my favorite maps. Ooh, can I sneak past the manure spreader? And by sneak past, I mean totally slam into it with the bucket. The answer is no. I can't sneak anywhere at all, ever. Alright, so we put that down. Now what it's going to do is it's going to take and launch this grass into the wagon. It's as simple as that. Now we missed a little bit here. This is very, very trickeration here to back up. And I am bad at it even on a game and worse at it in real life. So I'm going to try to do my best here to get us going. How would you like to have this camera angle if you were a real, as a real farmer? In reality, this is your view. And you're like looking back, trying to look. You have to like scoot up. I'm like sitting up in my chair trying to look over the the back of that fender. And really, the best thing to do is figure out where you want your front wheel, where you know it's going to pick up what you're working with. You want that front wheel to stay right alongside, because you know the pickup for the chopper is essentially right where your front wheel is. The big tire you can't really see well enough to judge it. So, wow, that is so much grass there. All right, I'm gonna get as much of this as I can. I'm not super scuffed about it. So yeah, we'll just keep plugging away here. We'll do this headland, and actually we won't even make it close. Look how much grass is already in there. We're at 90%. So you can imagine this whole field is a ton. But we want to turn this off because it will just keep blowing it in there. And that's not cool. So I'm going to turn my help back on because I'll need it to see when the wagon is... Pardon me. Sorry about that. So you bring the wagon up here. Bring it alongside. Oops. Little camera action there. So now it's going to dump in. It takes a second for it to start, but what was that, like 23,000 liters? It's pretty powerful, because considering it was half a headland. And this is not that big of a field, but we'll get every bit, what, 150,000 liters maybe? And I don't know if it keeps the same... I don't think it keeps the same, like, volume or whatever you want to call it. I think it has some reduction when it turns into silage, but I don't know how much that is. Here, let's go ahead and put this here. Now, there is one little glitch with this wagon. This is Scooter's Workbench's stuff, too. I don't know if he knows about this or not, but one little glitch with this wagon, like, we have 400 liters, but if you look at the wagon, it appears as though it's full, but everything functions fine, so I don't mind. It's just a visual, and it only happens on the second load. The first load, it fills gradually, but on the second and subsequent loads after that, there's a problem with it. Oops. Dang it. Maybe I can catch that next lap. Which, maybe I'll do more of this in the next episode. I don't know exactly what all I want to do. One of the problems with making this into a YouTube series is that there's just so much work to do in a single day. If you're trying to keep up with 3 fields, that, you know, I want to do variety. I don't want you all to be watching the same thing. Look at that. We filled it again. Almost like perfectly at the end there. That's cool. Alright, so we'll get up here beside it. And got some pretty poor lighting for that. I was gonna... Maybe I can snag a shot. This way. Yeah, we'll do that. I know it's not the best lighting in the world, but beggars can't be choosers. Well, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing more of the operation here, seeing this backfield, and I will catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.